I'm Tori Nunnally, and I live here in the Mechanicsville, Virginia area now. I went to college up north in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm from a military family, so I kind of grew up a little bit of everywhere. And I was a children's librarian for the last 10 years, and I just recently got a promotion. I'm the general manager of a little neighborhood library branch in the city of Richmond. I have a son. He is now going to be 8 years old this summer, and then my daughter is 2. She'll be 3 this summer. I had been noticing blood in my bowel movements for a little bit of time, and I thought I'd had children in the last couple of years. I thought maybe it was something like hemorrhoids, and I thought it wasn't a very big deal, so I kind of ignored it. And then the blood started to be a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and I was actually getting to the point where I was going to use the restroom and all I had was blood. So I thought, okay, this is no longer normal. I should probably go see someone. I had no idea what kind of doctor you see for that. So I talked to my OB, and she recommended that I go and see a specialist. It was Henrico Doctors over at Parham campus. It was Dr. Farrell and Michael Farrell, and he said, well, we could probably do a scope here in the office. You're very young. It's probably something very simple. He came up with a couple of suggestions of what he thought it might be. He said, or the golden standard is to go ahead and do a colonoscopy. Even though I was young, because I had some symptoms, he said my insurance should cover it, and I decided to go with the golden standard. I said, let's just do the colonoscopy and see what happens. I was terrified because everyone says, oh, colonoscopy, it's gonna be so terrible. You're gonna be up all night, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. I thought it was very simple. It really was fine. We did the split prep, so I drank like this kind of grapey flavored stuff and a big thing of water, and then about 4 hours later, whatever it was, I did the other half. And my mom said, oh, get near a toilet, you're gonna be sitting there for a while, you know, sleep on the couch, don't. And honestly, it really wasn't that bad. I don't know if that had to do with the symptoms that I'd had or what it was, but honestly, I thought the prep was no big deal, and going in for it, everyone was so kind and really great about explaining what was going on, and I really didn't have any nerves about that. But I was, you know, kind of groggy, waking up behind the curtain. I could hear people talking, and I heard a, is she awake yet? And so the curtain kind of opened, and I thought it would probably be like a nurse or an assistant, and it was Dr. Farrell. And he came in and he said, I don't want to alarm you, but you have significant bleeding, and there's a massive tumor, and it's very involved in your colon, and I'm sending you right now to the ER, and you're gonna have probably a blood transfusion and emergency surgery. So I will tell you that the medicine they give you makes you feel very relaxed. So I think I received that news very well. I said, oh, okay, all right, we'll go do that. I said, where's my mom? And they said, well, your mom is insisting she can drive you, but if you prefer, you can go in an ambulance. And I said, well, if she can drive me, we'll just ride on over there. So we did. We rode over to the ER. They were expecting us when we arrived, and they took us straight back, and we got started on what we needed to do. So they took out about 12 inches of my sigmoid colon, so that's towards the bottom part of your colon. They took about 12 inches of that out, and then they were able to reattach the good, healthy tissue on either side of my colon. Dr. Miller did inform me that he had taken out 12 lymph nodes as well for lymph node dissection to check and see if there was cancer in the lymph nodes, that he suspected there would be cancer in the tumor, and that he would be referring me to an oncologist to then find out what the next steps were. And the next thing was we saw Dr. Shaw, my oncologist, and she was wonderful. She kind of went over everything. The lymph node dissection did show that out of the 12 lymph nodes that they took, 12 of them did have cancer in it. So it was spread, and I was given the staging of colon cancer. It was stage 3C colon cancer, and that I was gonna start chemo right away, and she'd like to do every other week. We were doing chemo, and we were planning to do it for 6 months.